Happy Sunday, Stitchers. It's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel. This is Flosstube number 83. It is Sunday, May 5th, 2024. I hope you all have had a wonderful, wonderful week. I am excited about today's episode and sharing all of the stitchy things with you. I have 2 FFO'S. I have 3 new starts. Is that right? I think 3 new starts. 4, maybe technically 4 new starts. Progress on our seasonal Spohr new Sal 2024 to share. We're getting close to the finish line. We are going to have week 4 stitch with me this week, and then the following week will be the reveal, and I cannot wait. Also today I'm going to talk about what I've decided for my Mother's Day Sal start. Hope I get to start it on Mother's Day. Next weekend is graduation weekend for my youngest son. I will have a house full of company. I will have a Flosstube episode next Sunday. It will be recorded ahead of time. I have some kind of fun things I'm going to share in that. Might be a little bit more vlogish, which today is going to be a little bit vlogish too, as long as it works out and when I go to edit and all of the clips together. I did some cleaning in my craft room, and I kind of took you along on cleaning and organizing, putting charts away, that kind of thing. I have filmed content for my series for my craft room. It will be a series of 3 videos, so it will kind of tackle each area that I personally store in my small space. So I'm excited about that coming as well. I tried to get that out in April, but didn't quite hit that, but May is just as good of a time, right? So that will be coming as well. And again, that will be a 3-part series. So I guess that without further ado, we're going to jump into today's episode. Oh, I know what else I have today. I have giveaway winners to announce. I have some giveaways today. And I have an unboxing of the Fat Quarter Shop April 2024 Sew Sampler. Now, full disclosure, and you're going to see this in the clip here in a little bit, I filmed it last week. I filmed it last week before my Flosstube, like a few days before, and went to clip it in. No sound. 0. Dang it. So, shoot. I had to refilm all of that content. So that is coming today. I also will be sharing in my next Sunday Flosstube the start of, I'm starting the project from that Sew Sampler box. I'm really excited about it. Got my sewing mojo back because I got that side of the room cleaned up. You're going to see that here in a little bit. And I do want to say, I mentioned I'm going to talk about next week's, my Mother's Day start. I have a special giveaway for you guys next week. So I don't do it very often. You'll have to stay tuned for next week to see what it is. But it's not something that I sell, in case that gives anybody a hint. But I wanted to do something special for Mother's Day, whether you're a mother or not. I know that day is kind of a hard day, so I like to have a video for you guys, just to spend a little time with you, whether you celebrate or not, or like I said, I know it's a hard day for many different reasons. Hopefully I can bring just a little bit of happy to your day, and that is what next week's episode will be all about as well. So let's jump in to today's episode. Oh, you guys, I just keep saying, oh, I forgot. Oh, I forgot. I am going to speedy quick restitch something that I stitched last year to give as a gift for my parents, but I never 100% loved it. So I'm stitching it this week. I will take you guys along. My parents do not do social media, so they're never going to see it. My parents won't see this. So I feel not one iota of guilt sharing what I'm going to do for them. Well, I wouldn't have felt guilt anyway. I mean, I'm a year late. You guys will see what I'm talking about. If you've been with me for a while, you already are like, girl, I know what you stitched for them and you never gave it to them, really? Anyway, so let's jump in to today's episode. As always, I am linking anything that I talk about down below, as long as I have a link for it. If I'm missing something, drop me a comment, let me know. I do have timestamps down below. So if you see something, there are timestamps down in the description below. So definitely check that out. We are going to jump into today's episode. I'm going to try to clip in kind of the start to my Flosstube and my room cleaning, and then we'll jump into the stitching. Happy Saturday, everybody. Coming to you from a different angle of my craft room today. This is the other side of my room you don't normally see. The wall on the other side that's usually behind me has all of my fabric, and it's much prettier. This wall has, which I'm sure, let me see, has these IKEA Alex drawer units. Yes, some of them are open. Yes, some of them are a mess. Over here on this side, this is where like my stamps and that work stuff goes. I have quite a mess going on up here. I have a couple of shelves that I want to hang up there today, but we're going to see what we can get done. We're going to see what we can get cleaned, and I hope to start a little fabric project. I don't know if that will happen or not, but we're going to cross our fingers. But we're going to get this cleaned off. We're going to get some of this stuff on the floor. Let me see if I can show you. Sorry if this makes everybody sick. There's some stuff on the floor. Yeah, not the best. But anyhow, oh, here, maybe, there we go. There is a good representation of how it actually looks. Huge mess. Ha ha. Sorry about my hand in the way. So we're going to start cleaning. I'm going to try to time lapse it. I've never done that before. We're going to see if that works, just to, you know, see how long it takes and see if we can get started on a fabric project and of course get Flosstube filmed. So let's see how it goes. FFO'S, everybody. So when I got done cleaning my room, I knew I wanted to FFO two things I finished stitching. So the two things I have this week, I have my little 40 count Biscornu, super cute. I'll turn the camera around here in a minute. And I do want to mention, so these pins from Jersey Girl Stitch Co. are going through my Biscornu. That's not ideal, except that this Biscornu is going to stack on the 32 count, and that is ideal, that they'll kind of stick through both, and that'll be a cute little stack. So let's turn the camera around and talk about my FFOs. Okay, first up, obviously, the summer basket from Hands On Design. This is one of the bonus Biscornus I am stitching along during this seasonal Biscornu Sal 2024 on 40 count flax fabric with all of the called for floss. Now, I love it. I did talk last week that I kind of alternated and did the kind of flip-flop the colors. You can see that there where I did the star red and then did the line in blue where it's red here and blue stars. That was just to add a little bit of fun and interest. You can see when it's sitting on a shelf, you're just seeing a peek of it, and I think it is precious. It is so cute and fun. I did fill it with the crushed walnut shells. The ones I'm using are linked in any of my videos for the seasonal Biscornu Sal. That is my preferred way to stuff a Biscornu. I sewed a button in the center of this star. I will tell you there won't be a button in the center of my 32 count, which I'll show here in a minute, because I'm stacking them together, I think. Maybe I'll put one. I said that and then I changed my mind. I might still. But whether you don't have to put one if you don't want to, you can see there's a little divot right there where I've pulled it through. In my finishing tutorial, I'll show you how exactly I did that. I love these pins. I just think they're beautiful. Again, Jersey Girl Stitch Co. I will link to those down below. Super tiny. So let's look at it compared to a 40. This is 40. Let's look at it compared to a 32. Look at that size difference, you guys. Is that not the cutest thing? So pretend this doesn't have pins in it. You can see that if you stack the 32 and 40 together, it is a cutie pie little stack. Now, let's look at it compared to a 36. I have stitched one 36 count Biscornu. So we have 32, 36, and now a 40. So you can really see the graduation in size, or how it goes from small to large. I will have samples in all of the summer basket. This is 40. This one is going to be 36, and I'll show you my start on this and what I'm doing. And then this one is 32, so it'll be this size. But I love it. I love seeing them in the different sizes. I really love the little 40s. I just think they're so cute. I love them all. Who are we kidding? Look how many I've stitched so far. So far I have 4 finished Biscornus from this series. We will have 6 by the time it's all said and done, and I would like to stitch a few more, but just full disclosure, you guys, I'm gonna have to take a break. Gonna have to take a Biscornu break. But I love making them, and I hope you guys have loved the journey. Seeing all of you guys' Biscornus and your stitching and your color conversions and all of the different changes that you guys have been making is so exciting. I absolutely love it. This has been such a fun Sal, and I just can't tell you guys enough how much I appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And it's not over yet. 2 more weeks for this Sal, and my next Sal is in the works. It will be announced in June. It will be in July. This actual Sal will be in July, and all of the details will be coming in June. So stay tuned for that. Super excited. And that is my cutie pie little, I better keep it in front of me because I have my special blur technique on. This is my cutie pie little 40 count Biscornu. My other FFO, and I put away all of the instructions, but you will remember last week I shared my tomato, which was the cute little stuffed tomato. It does have a magnet down here in the bottom. I followed the instructions exactly. And then there's a magnet under this tomato in the tray. So I finished stitching this week. I did finish it into this little tray exactly like the instructions, down to the blanket stitch. Don't look too close. I did my best. Around the edges, although this side looks real good. This is probably the side I started on. It seems to me that it always gets better as it goes. But this is my tray. There's batting under here. There's that magnet so that you can do that and see how cute. And then I can sit this on my shelf. Oh my gosh, you guys, this was such a fun project. Now, finishing for all of these things, I don't think that, I mean, the Biscornu is a little bit of time just because you're hand stitching it together. This was all hand stitching as well. The only thing that was machine stitched, and you wouldn't have to, was the short edge here of the tomato, and she gives instructions if you want to hand stitch instead. All of this hand stitching and hand work. This that goes in here, it is attached, but I did lace this piece to the mat board with 2 layers of batting underneath so it's nice and poofy. And of course, the magnet holds your tomato in place, which is cute. I mean, you can display it however you want. It's so stinking sweet. I loved every bit of stitching this. This is 32 count gray from Weeks Dye Works. This is 32 count Aztec red from Weeks Dye Works. Stitched 2 strands over 2. I should mention Biscornu 40 count, 1 strand over 2. And that was Flax, in case I didn't tell you. And I love it. This is some wool. I think this is Weeks Dye Works wool. Red, and then the cute little beige plaid. And everything about this, I know, I've said it a million times. Everything about this I love. Every single thing. It is the cutest thing. I am in love with it. I cannot believe that I had it in my stash for this long and didn't do anything, because it is amazing. It is amazing. Kathy is such a good instructor. She has a link if you have the chart or purchase the chart. It's tomato, to her finishing instructions. It's photos and full complete instructions. I followed them to the letter to complete this, and oh my word, I love it, love it, love it. So these are my FFOs for the week. I was super happy to have both of these done. They did take several hours to finish, so I felt pretty good about that. I had some other things in my stack of things to FFO, but that is what I got to. Okay, let's talk about whips, and then we'll do new starts. So whips. I am still working on my 32 count, which is this design right here that we are stitching during the seasonal Biscornu Sal. Now, here's something funny. I went to film my video thinking that I was kind of ready for this week. I do have one little thing I want to do, but we'll talk about that in a minute. I realized I haven't backstitched this corner, so I do need to do that today and get ready for Wednesday's Stitch With Me. So I have almost finished the front piece, or the top piece. The bottom piece, I talked about this in last week's Stitch With Me, which I will link. And I am doing aqua stars in the corner. And I showed that the star is this piece right here. I don't know if I have. See how that's a star? Sometimes you have to really look at it and break it down to see that it's a star. So I'm taking this star And that's what I am stitching in the corners for the bottom of my biscornu. Now I was just going to do one, but we talked about this in the Stitch With Me to figure out kind of your space, how much space you have to fill for the bottom of your biscornu. If you want to stitch your back stitch line first, or I like to stitch my back stitch line first because it gives me a good idea of the area. This is 73 by 73. This is 73 by 73. I like to do a notch in the center of my line, no matter how big it is. So a notch in the middle, or not a notch, a back stitch in the middle, a back stitch on the side, on all four sides. If you kind of take from back stitch to back stitch, this is the space that's really going to be visible when you look at the side, when you're looking at your biscornu from the side. Can you see that? So even though part of this star, and really part of this star and part of this star kind of go underneath the biscornu, it does fill in this corner. And I like that. So when you look at it, when these are together, the corner will kind of have a little star like this. And I think those are going to be cute. So I did opt to switch what's in this. Oh, I ironed these so nice and now not so much. I did change the center of these. I didn't want to add really any other color. And what is charted, well, let's look at it on this. What is charted is this cute star in the center of those blocks, of those star blocks. Well, if I do that, the stars are all going to be tipped on their side. So what I actually stitched instead was from a completely different block. It's from this block, actually. I am stitching this little white, this little area. That's what I stitched in the center of these, just so it has a little something in it. I don't necessarily need my bottom to have tons of stuff going on. It's just, I almost think it's like the special little extra, if you will. And I think that's going to be really cute. So just, you're going to see a little peek of an aqua star with a little bit of white. And I will have most of this stitched as well. I'll probably have 3 of these corners stitched so that I can finish the final one in the Stitch With Me. Now you're going to notice it's going to end up being an aqua border pretty much all the way around, because I stitched these to make sure, and then I started these to make sure my spacing, they weren't going to run together. They don't. So I think that will be really cute. I'm going to leave the center open on that. So there is my progress on the summer basket 32 count. And now we're going to talk about kind of new starts. This, technically I had started, I don't think I'd started it last week, but we had talked about what fabric to stitch it on. My plan had been 36 count flax. This is 32, this is 40, and I was going to do the 36 as well. Well, I'm not stacking all 3 together because, as we talked about, there's not a huge difference like between these and then between these. There's a much bigger difference between 32 and 40 than 36 and 40, or even 36 and 32. So it's kind of a separate piece, and I decided to stitch mine on 36 count charcoal instead. And I wanted to show you how the colors pop. All of the colors are the called for colors. Look how amazing they look. I know somebody had a question about the blue. Will you change the blue? I love it on the charcoal. Now I'm going to tell you why I went with this. I already stitched my border. I will be doing this one slightly different than I'm doing all of the others. And that is because this has a very definitive border all the way around. This is 67 by 67. I am doing, and I already started it, my back stitch line right at 67. So this one is going to be just like this when I put it together into the biscornu. There is a needle. Where do you think that guy came from? Hope it was in here. So back to why I chose to do this. The other corner of this fabric features my Liberty pennies. You guys, look how awesome that looks. These aren't the exact colors. These were Weeks Dye Works colors, but I knew after I stitched this on here that the patriotic colors would be amazing on this charcoal fabric. So I decided to do that for this particular biscornu. It's the same fabric that the winter basket is stitched on, and I used all the called for colors for this one as well. And I just think it gives it a completely different look. And it's just part of the inspiration I'm providing for this sal, where there's lots of different ideas. Hopefully it inspires you if you're watching this later on. You can just take different inspiration, and maybe it will inspire you to change colors either for floss, fabric, whatever the case may be. So I think these will be even pretty displayed together. And I love it. I love how the colors pop on this charcoal fabric. So, so pretty. Now I will have to figure out what to do for the bottom, but I will have that for you guys. Wednesday evening, I'm hoping to have that whole top and then the bottom started so we can talk about what I'm going to do for the bottom piece on this. So that is one new start. Next, my friend Shari is hosting a botanical bee sal using the hands-on design botanical bee chart. It is gorgeous. And I did start and I stitched week 1, maybe even a little bit of some of the other weeks as well, while I had out my dark color of floss, which is what, blackboard? Charcoal? No, I knew I'd say it wrong. I went ahead and just stitched the legs, and then I had some green left, so I stitched some other green. I do have some tips for you if you are stitching this. I am stitching mine on the called for color, but I am stitching it on 36 count Juniper fabric by Fabrics by Stephanie. Called for is 32 count. I am stitching 1/2, and I love it. I also, on the Liberty pennies, which is another round from Hands On Design, I stitched, the called for fabric was slate, 32 count from Fabrics by Stephanie. This is 36 charcoal by Zweigart, 1/2. So I really loved how this turned out, so I wanted to do the same thing here. I am using all the called for Weeks Dye Works, and it is gorgeous. This is a fun stitch. Here is my best tip. So I was talking to a friend, and she said, "What are you stitching?" I told her, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, that black kind of, scares me." And I was like, yeah, that's what I'm working on. I started here at the head, and I came down and I did this flower, and then I started the black, and I was stitching like around all of these shapes that are going to be leaves and flowers. And she goes, "Oh, stitch the color first. I think I'll stitch the color first when I start mine." And I was like, oh my gosh. I immediately switched, did all of the green, then I did all of the pinks, and then I filled in. You guys, it was done like that. So if you are just starting, you might consider that. It made this go so much easier because I had all of the little green and pink areas stitched, and then I could simply just fill in with the charcoal. So that is the Botanical Bee Sal. I'll put the hashtag here across the screen, and it is going to be a fantastic addition to my bee decor. Last week, I did a poll. I showed you guys my tomato charts, and I gave you 2 choices. I gave you the Mend Block Party by Hands On Design and the Dutch Tomato Pin Keep from With Thy Needle and Thread, and said, you guys vote. I'll pick. I want to stitch both of these, and I will stitch both of these. You guys pick. So I put those polls up, and I asked you to leave the comment on last week's Flosstube episode and everything. And then I went ahead and just started. I started the one that I thought was going to win. I was wrong. So I started the Dutch tomato pin keep Sunday night. I started that Sunday night. I don't even think I put some of the pulls up till Monday. I just was that sure. You guys, I should know better, right? So I will show you that start next. But I did start the Mint Block Party Sal because you guys know I want to stitch it too. It's a restart for me. I did start it on a fabric that I didn't really love. And so I knew I wanted to switch it. I wanted to switch fabric count. And I probably will have to change some colors as I go, but so far I'm sticking to the called for colors. I know that there will be at least one color I'll change as I get to it, and I will let you guys know that as I'm working on it. But Mint Block Party it is for my next tomato stitch. So this is the Mint Block Party. And I actually started this as part of a sal with Jessica, the Sweetwater Stitcher, last year, celebrating her Flossiversary. And again, I just didn't like the fact I was pretty far on this strip here, and I just didn't love it. So I knew I wanted to start it on pink, inspired by Carrie Tiger Lily. And so this is a piece of 35 count blush by Weeks Dye Works. 35 is not a super common count. I did get this at my LNS before they went out of business because I just love blush color fabric. I really, really love blush color fabric. And so that is what this is on. I can't find the 35 count, but 32 is available like at 123 Stitch. So you might check that out. I'm sure it called for is 28. I think Kathy says she has charted all of these on 28, but you can stitch it on any size. So mine will just be a little smaller. And there's my start. I'll be honest, I started here at the end with the tape measure, and I stitched far enough that I could do the tray and start the tomato to make sure I liked the color on the blush fabric. I thought I would. I do love it. And that's all the further I got this week, just with all of the other things I have going on. So I hope to spend a little more time on that this week as well. There's a strawberry. Let me see. There's a strawberry. There's a spool and then some pins that go right here. And I will likely do all of this before I move on. I kind of find it works really good to, first of all, double check your stitch where these things go that line up with your tape measure. This is so long. It goes the whole length. So the tape measure goes the whole length of this piece here, which is super cute. But I just kind of double check it with the things that are sitting on top of it to make sure that I'm getting my spacing correct. So it's stitching great. I love the fabric. I love the size. I love the color. I'm really excited. The color, I think for sure I will switch to something more aqua. Instead of this aged pewter, I don't know what that's for. Maybe it wasn't the aged pewter. I can't remember what I thought I was going to change. Oh, maybe it's this. I may have to change some colors from the called for colors is what I'm saying. I'm not exactly sure yet. I already had all the colors, so I thought, let's see what they look like on the pink, and I have to say, I love it. I personally love the reds, those kind of cherry-ish colors almost on pink. So I didn't switch anything there. I'm like, if I have to make adjustments, I'll let you guys know, but so far that's how it's going. I love it. I'm gonna check something real quick. Yeah, no, that's right. Anyhow, so it's going well. I'm excited to put this one together and get this one done and add it to my tomato display. Okay, and because I guessed wrong, as I just mentioned, I do have a start on my Dutch tomato pin keep. However, I will be setting this one aside until the Mint Block Party is done. But here's my little start just down the side. I am stitching this on 36 count Vintage Country Mocha, 1 strand of DMC 22 over 2 linen threads. And this is it's really fun to stitch. I love it. So yes, I know one of the questions that we got a lot regarding this one was, am I going to finish it just like this? Yes, I am. And will I film any of it? I might. I haven't decided if it will be a full tutorial or just be kind of incorporated into my video, my Flosstube video, almost like a vlogish type thing. We shall see. But again, I just started that last Sunday evening thinking I was so smart and I was going to guess right. I didn't guess right. But that's okay. And that is my stitching for this week. I'm pretty happy with what I was able to get done. And as always, so much fun. I love stitching, don't you? Now, let's talk about Mother's Day start. I'm not good at the holiday starts. I'm just not. I feel like I'm just terrible at them. But I thought, do I want to start something new? Yes, but no. I want to start something meaningful, something I've wanted to stitch, and I've actually had this kitted up forever, and I decided that this piece would make a great Mother's Day piece because I do want to have it done. So obviously no timeline at all. Many of you have either seen it, stitched it, all of the things, but I am going to be stitching Plum Street Sampler. This is the day. So I decided this will be my Mother's Day start this year. It is absolutely beautiful. So many of my friends have stitched this. So many of you guys have stitched this. And I didn't really want to kit up something new. So I really just went, what do I have? What do I have that's already kitted? Now I know, I kitted this so long ago, you guys. It was kitted at my LNS that went out of business last fall. They retired. The owner retired. So it was stitched on 36 count Barb's Blend. I don't have 36 count. I couldn't find Barb's Blend at the time, so I actually got Winter Brew, which is totally fine. I love Winter Brew, so I think that's great. But I have it completely kitted. I don't have these on floss drops yet, so I probably will do that. Not probably. I will do that this week to get ready. But I am going to start. I have wanted to stitch it, and I just need to get it going. And I thought it would be perfect for my Mother's Day start. So we're gonna stitch This Is the Day by Plum Street Samplers. Okay, so this is my restart that I wanted to talk about from the beginning of the video. I stitched this last year, and while I absolutely love the design, I think the reason I have never fully finished is that I picked a fabric that has too much yellow or gold in it, especially with the whiskey color of Weeks Dye Works thread used in the chart. It just blends in to the fabric too much for my liking. So it's sat. My parents' 50th anniversary was last year. They're getting ready to celebrate 51 here at the end of the month. I feel horrible. I stitched it. It was completely ready. I just never FFO'd it. And I feel horrible because I was super excited to give this to them. So what I've decided, they are coming this week. It is okay. We are going to restart. I had a leftover piece of the gray Weeks Dye Works 32 count. This is just what was left over from my tomato tray, and that's plenty to stitch this. I have whiskey, and I think the chart calls for Gentle Arts chalk. I know it does, but I pulled out whitewash from Weeks because I'm sure that's what I used here as well. Well, I'm not completely sure. I'm guessing. And I decided I am going to restitch it. This doesn't have any yellow in it, any yellow undertones really, the gray doesn't. I think it will, the whiskey, the gold color will show up way better on this than it does on a golder fabric. there is enough difference. I'm going to stitch a little corner. If I don't think so, I'll switch it again. What you need though with this chart, I feel like, is you need a fabric dark enough that your white will pop, but not so yellow that the gold fades in. Now, it's not terrible. I do love it. It's just a little too almost ghosty, you know, when you're ghosting with a white on a fabric and it kind of ghosts. I really wanted that to just show up more. So I am going to restart and stitch this week. And I love this chart. Has it's a PDF only from Hands On Design, and you can stitch 20th, 25th, 30th, 40th, 50th, and 60th. The other thing is I really struggled with how to finish this where my parents would like it. I wasn't sure exactly, but I'm almost positive what I'm going to do is we're going to finish it. And I love how Kathy often will put her finished cross stitch piece in a frame matted on fabric, like a fabric backing, mount your cross stitch piece, and then put some sort of border around. I'm thinking a cord, like cording would be really pretty. So I have a lot to do to get this ready for them this week. So wish me luck. We also have graduation. But this should only take probably a good evening of stitching. If I start early, get it stitched, get it finished the next day. That is the plan for this. Hi everyone. So I'm going to do a little sew sampler unboxing. And funny enough, this was supposed to be in last week's video. However, there was no sound for the entire unboxing. Fantastic. And I got to that point and I thought, you know what? Oh well. So I just went ahead, set everything aside, and I'm going to refilm it for you today. Also, super excited. I've learned to do some new things with my camera that I was working hard to figure out, and I figured it out on accident, as most things go. So nice blurry background, focus on me. Love it so much. Okay, so with that being said, let's unbox the April 2024 Sew Sampler. Let's unbox this and see what is inside. Now, I know you've maybe already seen it, but we're gonna open it up anyway. Okay. Let me zoom it out just a teeny tiny bit. I have a lot of stuff here other than the sew sampler. Okay. So here is our sew sampler box. As always, when you open up the sew sampler, it has this beautiful presentation, which you guys, I totally love. On the back, there is always a special code. This code is good until May 31st, and there's a couple of them. There's a $10 off of a $50 purchase and 25% off my Sew Quilty Life patterns. You do have to get the codes as part of the box. So there's that. In this month's kit, granted, remember I've already opened everything, so there's no plastic. This is a cute little Sew Creative journal. This measures, I have the wrong mat. It looks like 5 by 8. So this is a 5 by 8 journal. I love that it has the elastic band, but what I love is there's the lined pages and then there's grid pages. I actually think this would be a fantastic little notebook to just kind of carry around with you. I wasn't sure how I would feel about this, but I actually really like it. I think it's great for jotting notes, jotting ideas. Maybe you have block ideas or sewing project ideas. I like this. I like it also maybe for like a bedside table. If you're like me, you get all of your ideas right when you lay down at night, and you could just keep a pen with this and jot down your ideas and be ready to go the next day. Next, I did also, I threw away the little thing that came, the card that came with this, and I didn't want to dig through my trash. I already had to dig through my trash for the box. Full disclosure, you're getting my full disclosure today. So Flower Girl came in. This is a collection from Heather Briggs. I have been eyeing this. I actually had not purchased any of this fabric, so I'm thrilled to get some. So here is all of the fabric, that kind of peach stripes, pinky peach floral, this green check with floral. Love it. I love the yellow. The taupey brown, so pretty. And then kind of the multi-floral on cream. Super beautiful. Fat quarter bundle. I love this. Love, love, love it. And then, of course, you get the pattern, the exclusive pattern that comes in this April box. We're going to sew this up. I love this. It's kind of, to me, I call this a table topper size. It's 42.5 by 46.5. And so I am going to sew this. Full disclosure. You get the fat quarter bundle to sew this in the kit, but not the backing, binding, or background. So fat quarter shop, and I will put it across the screen here if it's still available, and I'll link it down below. They have a finishing kit that includes the background and the binding. You would need to get 3 yards of backing. I'm gonna see if I just have something in my stash I can use, or I'll purchase it later. But we're going to sew this up because I think this would make a cute little, like, hanging on a ladder, or like I said, a table topper kind of thing. Really, really cute and pretty. So springy, and I have been wanting to sew one of Heather's patterns, and I haven't. So we're just going to sew this one up from the Fat Quarter Shop box. I just thought it was adorable. Adorable. So we get that. Then we also get the needle minder that coordinates. It says "So Happy." How cute is this? Absolutely love this. So stinking adorable. I'm going to add this to my needle minder collection. Then you get in the box the Fat Quarter Shop Peaceful Baskets sticker. And of course, this is the new monthly sew along, quilt along with Fat Quarter Shop. And this is the first block. So last year's Bountiful Blooms ended. April started a new year. And I need to cover up part of this. So you get the pattern for the first block. You can use any fabric from your stash that you have. This does use Shoreline fabric from Camille Ross Kelly. And I did look at the time of filming this. I cannot promise how long this will be in stock. I did purchase the Peaceful Baskets quilt kit from Fat Quarter Shop. This is all of the fabric you need to sew along all year. Backing, blocks, binding, and then separately, I did buy the back. I think I said backing. I meant background on that first one. This is the backing set, which is a separate purchase, and I purchased this as well. I am a huge, huge Camille Ross Kelly fan, so I want to sew along with this, and I will be finishing up my 2023-2024 quilt and showing that to you guys, and then I want to get started on this one. And finally, you do get a June Taylor Crafty clutch in here, which comes with everything you need, and then you would use the fabric. So kind of instead of the quilt, you would have to either sew with the fabric for this pouch, or you'd have to use something from your stash or get something separate, or vice versa. This actually is the only thing I am not keeping. This was included in a giveaway for last week. And again, I didn't know at the time of my filming that there was no sound. So that was included in that. Everything else I'm keeping, mostly because I love, love, love all of this stuff. I thought it was fantastic. And if you haven't checked out the Sew Sampler from Fat Quarter Shop, I encourage you to do so. So that is the sew sampler from that quarter shop. Absolutely love this pattern, love the fabric, love the needle minder, love the new peaceful baskets, all of the things. Absolutely amazing. If it is still available a la carte, I'm going to pop it down in the description below. Check it out if you're interested. It's a great little assortment of things to give a try, and I love the little surprise every month. Okay, let's do a little bit of stitchy mail. I received a few lovely things from viewers this week and some thank you cards, so let's take a look at those. So first up, my friend Andrea sent this lovely card. Just a nice little thank you card. Thank you so much, Andrea. Then my awesome friend Tabitha sent this darling card. I love this. This is so, so cute. And she accidentally picked up 2 of these charts, so I will be offering this as a giveaway today. I have this already, and I'm looking forward to stitching it a little later this year, so I want to pass this along to one of you. Thank you so much, Tabitha. And then my friend Pat, she sent me a sweet note. This is more for my paper crafting. It's this die cut storage stand that you can keep your dies and things on so that they don't go missing while you're working. But I also think this would come in super handy when I am working with my felt stitching, and I thought you guys might think so too. So thank you so much, Pat. I am going to give this a try. I love the idea of being able to, you know, place my dies on here while I'm working so that they don't get lost on my desk. So sweet of you and so thoughtful. Thank you so, so much. Okay, so I have some giveaways for you. I am still following my new format. The giveaway winners will be listed in the scrolling screen at the end of this video. I only heard from one winner from that last call that I had put out for last week from previous Flosstubes. So I sent out her package. Everything else went back into the giveaway pile, and I'm giving away 3 of those today, and then 1 new thing plus that, you know, the 50th anniversary stitch. So there will be 5 giveaways today. Please be a US resident. Please be over 18. I have to ask for your address. Don't use the words giveaway and things like that in your comments. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, please. I appreciate all of you so much. Thank you again for hanging out with me. I love doing these videos. And then check the winners in that rolling screen here at the end. So we're gonna use keywords today. I just decided that. All right. If you want my stitched piece, the hands-on design, it's finished, and I will even send you this whole piece of fabric. Oh, look, I started it and I must have messed. Oh, I remember I messed up. You can have this whole, whatever's left on here as well. So it's kind of, you know, a 2 price. I guess if you don't want this, you can just pitch it and use the rest of the fabric. Put anniversary in your comment if you would like to repurpose this, and you know, you can keep it for yourself if you want. It can be a present from me, or you can give it as a gift. So use anniversary. We'll have to look and see what's inside here. Oh my gosh, this was a good price. Okay, I think this is 32 count platinum Lugana and 2 Signs of Christmas charts. So this is Mrs. Claus Candy Shop and Little Elves Toy Emporium. Please use the word Christmas if you would like. This is quite a bit of platinum Lugana, and this. Use Christmas if you would like this lot. It's a treasure to see what's inside of each. If you would like these pieces of Aida, this is a Fiber on a Whim 18 count Aida in the color Ivy. I remember I unpackaged this when I showed it the first time. It is so pretty and so soft. That's Fiber on a Whim 18 count, the equivalent of 36 count linen. And then this is a little 16 count Grace Notes Aida fabric. If you're an Aida stitcher, leave the word Aida on the screen for those. This is a linen lot. We've got 28 count chalkboard black, 28 count sapphire, and 28 count Icelandic gray. Beautiful, beautiful linens. I believe these are all Witchelt linens. I don't personally prefer Witchelt, but I know some of you really do. It's a lot stiffer linen. I have stitched something on the sapphire green and I do love it. And it does tend to soften as you have it in your hand and you work with it. Use linen in your comment. And finally, my friend Tabitha shared that she had this extra chart. You saw that in the Stitchy Mail segment. I want to give this, so use the word Frosty in your comment and I will send you Frosty Tiny Town. It does come with the buttons because she accidentally picked up an extra. I already have this and so I want to share this with one of you. Use Frosty in your comment. Okay, my friends, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. Please be sure to check back next week for my Mother's Day edition of Flosstube. I say Mother's Day, but it'll just be a special Flosstube edition. I will have a special giveaway for that video. And until next time, happy stitching. See you guys. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, click that like button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to always be notified when I have a new Flosstube stitching or quilting video. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and we'll see you next time.